Welcome to Burnham Podcast number 18. I'm your host, Danny Burnham. I'm the editor of Fire Christian Media. Check us out on Facebook, Fire Christian Media. Tonight's show brought to you by our sponsor, Mustard Seed Soap Shop. Mustard Seed Soap Shop is an online retailer specializing in handmade soaps and bath products produced in small batches with the finest natural ingredients. They make handmade soaps, sugar scrubs, lip balms, bath bombs, potty sprays, pillow sprays, bath teas, and bath soaks. Folks, their stuff is excellent. My wife loves it. We're about due to make another order. We're running low on what we've got from them, but it's good stuff. Good stuff. Drew's wife likes it. They dig it. Guys, they got stuff for you too on their website, mustardseedsoap.com. Go by there and check them out. Let them know that we sent you. So, tonight's episode, the Sunday special of sorts. We don't always do these late Sunday nights, but I don't know. You're going to listen to it whenever you listen to it. It's only late Sunday night for me. But we're calling tonight's episode Blessings and Inspirations. I had a little bit of a moment today when I was out. Me and the kids went to the YMCA this afternoon, and we got these kittens in our house, and they had chewed through my earbuds, so I needed to stop and get some earbuds on the way to the Y so I could listen to my tunes while I run and, all that good stuff. So we stop at the dollar store, and I buy a cheap pair of headphones because I know what's going to happen. Some cats are going to chew through them, or the kids are going to take them out of the yard, and I'll never see them again. And I'll only be out $5 instead of $300 if I got the Beats or whatever. But we ain't doing that at my house. So we're getting back in the car at the dollar store, and I got these new earbuds, and I don't remember what it was. One of my kids was talking to the other one, and they said something about what happened last night. Ayla said something to Joseph. Joseph says, "When did that happen?" And Ayla says, "After we left the pizza place, between there and the ice cream place." Oh, okay, well, we went out for pizza and ice cream last night. I'm driving right now. I'm driving my in-laws their spare car because my truck starts leaking antifreeze the other day, and I haven't been able to nail down exactly where it's leaking from. I have to have somebody look at it. But in the meantime, I'm driving my in-laws' spare car, which is nice. It's nice that they've got a spare car that we can use when we get in a pinch. My wife got a new car yesterday. I say new, it's like a 2007, but it's new to us. Her car was wearing out. We needed a new one. But so we traded her old car in and got a newer car. But we're trying to do this frugal thing, and but except for we bought a car and went and got pizza and ice cream last night. We hadn't done that in forever. We decided to do it last night. But all this kind of hit me at once. We just bought this car. We still got a way to go when one of our cars doesn't work. We have two cars to begin with. We've got a YMCA membership. We went out for pizza and ice cream with the kids. Had this great time down on Broad Street last night in Rome. And, we're not rich. I don't make a lot of money at all. But God blesses us, and we have what we need. And, we always do. And you may not be blessed the same way that I am, but I don't want you to feel like you're blessed any less than me. We've all got whatever we've got, and it's because God gave it to us. But, and I was thinking, I listened, and as I was running today, I was on the treadmill at the Y. I was listening to Ben Shapiro, his Sunday special. He had Mike Rowe on there today. Mike Rowe makes this point that happiness is not a tangible thing. where everybody just wants to be happy. Well, it means something different for everybody. Happiness is not something you can touch. Otherwise, Mike Rose says that the same thing would make everybody happy. Like, no matter what it was, like a specific amount of money or the specific car or the specific house or whatever. This will be the thing that makes people happy. And that's not the way it goes at all. And I learned a lot about happiness and enough to understand what he was saying and to affirm it. And I agree with what he's saying. I learned a lot about it on my trips to Richwood, West Virginia. I've been there several times on mission trips. And it's an old lumber and coal mining town. And it's about a tenth of the size that it used to be. It's typical, if you know anything about the West Virginia or, Western Virginia, even into the Rust Belt, it's not uncommon to hear these stories about the town is all but gone, and there's drug problems, and there's so many other things that are happening in these towns that used to be the place to go to find a job, because you could work in the lumber yards or in the coal mines or the steel mills or wherever you are. But this place, Richwood, the people that are left there are like the last of the hard, and they just love the place. And people are telling them, your town's dead, dying. Why are you still there? And they love where they live. They love what they got, and there's nothing there, to speak of. There's stuff there. I say there's nothing there. There's not. They don't have a Walmart. They don't have a mall. They don't have a hospital. They don't have, a lot of stuff that towns their size might have somewhere else in the country. But I've never seen a happier group of people. And guys, I've been there after they went through what they call the 1,000-year flood, when people lost everything. And they're just a happy group. They're a happy group. There's not, they don't have a racetrack in their town. They don't have they got their little high school, and their high school plays the sports, and, that's what you do on a Friday night. And that's what they've got. But the people there are happy, and that means something different there than it does, in a big city or something like that. And it's a little bit slower life, just because if you live in the country, you know what I mean by that. But these people are grateful for what they've got, even if it's not the same thing that everybody else has got. They don't all have two cars. They don't all have one car. They don't all have Netflix streaming into their house, and they don't have YMCA and, the stuff that we've got in bigger places, and it's the things that we're blessed with. But they're blessed with they're blessed with this peace and this happiness that, like, I wish I had sometimes. We put so much stock in our stuff, but that's not where our happiness is. And when you really boil it down, for us, the believers, our happiness is in Jesus. So there's no fine line that says once we get to this point in life, once we're making this much money, we have this kind of car, and we have this wife and these kids, and this is what makes us happy. We're happy with Jesus even in the worst circumstances, because that He's our hope, He's our promise, and we can find peace and we can find joy even, like I said, in the worst circumstances, or circumstances that we wish were better. Maybe they're not even bad. Maybe they could be better than they are. But, He's our hope. He's our promise. And He's our inspiration. We've gotten to a point now, like I mentioned a second ago, and I was having this conversation with somebody yesterday about, technology and the way things are now. And this is a really cool time to be alive. There's a lot of cool stuff going on in technology. I'm sitting in my kitchen right now, and I'm staring at a little hole on my laptop, and I'm talking to this little tiny microphone right here. I don't know if you can see it or not. Here it is. But and it's going out. And anybody anywhere in the world that has an internet connection can hear it. And it didn't really cost me anything to do it. I got a few bucks in the microphones, and I got this service, the internet that comes into my house, and then it goes out, and You know, this is where we are now, and it's a great tool for spreading the gospel, for sharing that message. And but we were talking about having Netflix and things. We got Netflix in our house now. I can type it up now on my computer and watch whatever movie they got on there. Amazon Prime, all these things. It used to be you got the Blockbuster, and when they had tapes, you got in trouble if you didn't rewind the tape. But sometimes you didn't rewind it on purpose, so you could go back and watch them stick it in the thing, and it rewinds it real fast. Like 2 seconds. I wish I had one of those at home. And then once they moved into DVDs and things, like you get one home before you realize it was scratched, and you had to take it back. And like, man, you guys drove down the road and got movies. Yeah, we did. We brought them home, and you keep them for a day or two, and you send them back. Now you got Netflix movies that stay on there for months and months, and the kids watch them 100 times and wear them out. And then, that's the talent. The ability. Somebody created all these things. They know how to do this stuff. Like I could never, like, I don't know how long I'd have to be alone with the right equipment to figure out how to build the internet, by myself. But God blessed somebody with that talent, with that ability. And, we live in the time when that happened. That's so awesome. But I was talking to Ayla on the way home from the Y today, a little bit later on after the other conversation we'd had. But she's talking about what she wants to be when she grows up. She likes cooking. She's big on cooking, baking mainly. She likes to bake. She likes to cook breakfast food, stuff like that. And she's into these YouTubers. And you got to watch your kids in the YouTube, because some of these guys are scumbags. But she's, we keep a pretty close eye on it. But she's into the YouTubers, and she's going, well, I want to be a YouTuber. But I don't know if I can be a YouTuber and be a chef or a cook or a baker or whatever. But, these days you can do that. You can be whatever you are from 9 to 5. And then you can have your own podcast in the evenings. Or, you can do whatever. I've done myself, and then you guys, this is not anything that you couldn't do or anybody else. I've had a side career in journalism now for probably 15 years on top of what I do, in my day job, which is during the day, I'm a special education paraprofessional. None of that sounds awesome, but, and it is. I love my job. I love what I do. It's not even a job, really. I call it a job. I guess you have to classify it as something, but that's what I do that pays my bills, because journalism doesn't. I majored in it in college, and I got just enough credit to starve to death as a journalist. But we can do anything. We can do anything. Like I said, I've been a journalist. I've done, webcast football games and written all kinds of articles about all kinds of sports and news and all kinds of other things. But it didn't take away from what I did during the day. It was a totally different thing. But we're able to do that now. We're to the point where we can have that side job. You can be a web designer and not do it as your staple income, or, the possibilities are endless these days. Ayla's going, I want to be a YouTuber, but I don't know what I want to vlog. I guess vlog, maybe. I don't know what I want to vlog about. Like, you can vlog about anything. There are no rules. This is where we are. It's 2018. There's no limits, no constraints on what we can do and how awesome it can be. And it all just goes back to the way that God has blessed us and the ability that He's given us to create things and imagine new things. And I never would have said, God, we started doing this podcast in April, maybe. And I had thought about it for a couple of weeks before that. But otherwise, like this would never have been on the radar. We had, and then, a couple of years before that, Facebook Live was never on the radar. We just started doing that recently. That's been a recent thing. click and now you're live on the internet. People around the world can watch you. That's not, we couldn't do that 5 years ago. Maybe we could. I guess, I don't know. But Yahoo Messenger was not the best. But you know, the advances that we're making, and we're alive in this time, and the possibilities are endless, and the possibilities for sharing the gospel now are endless. You know, it used to be you had to go somewhere to do that. And you had to go pretty far from Rome, Georgia to find somebody that had never at least heard the gospel before. And we should still do that. We should still go because the Bible says to. But we don't, it's not the only way anymore, because that, you know, like I said, I'm sitting here and I'm broadcasting to the entire world, and it'll be on the internet as long as there is an internet. You know, a million years from now, when somebody pulls up, you know, their whatever they have that's the internet, then they'll be able to find Burnham Podcast on iTunes and Google Play and Radio Public and all the places that we're on. I guess it'll still be around then. So we're making this footprint that's just going to be around because that's the internet, you know, and that's how it works. And that's the same with, you know, whatever message you're getting out there is your thing, but it's the gospel message in particular is what we're talking about. It's out there, it's going to be there, and somebody will always be able to find it as long as there's an internet somewhere. So, say all that to say, what a time to be alive. You know, how awesome is it that we're here and this is what we have, these tools we have at our disposal. That's really cool. It really is a cool thing. The possibilities are it's just limitless these days. We can just do whatever and be whatever and go wherever without leaving. You know, like I said, I'm in the kitchen right now in my house. I'm sitting at the dining room table. Just, I don't know if I ever specified that or not. I've done a million live videos from this spot, and I've never said I'm in my kitchen right now. But anyway, you can be in your kitchen and talk to somebody in their kitchen a million miles away these days. But, you know, thank God. We always talk about the progress that man has made and the developments that we've made and things like this. Well, where do you think we got this talent from? You know, it didn't come from, I know where it did come from. It came from God. You know, he blessed us with these abilities, all this stuff. It's awesome. It's just really cool stuff. And how blessed we are, and how, you know, equally blessed we are, even though some of us are blessed differently than others. You know, but even, you know, there's scripture even about that. He gives some gifts to some people and other gifts to other people. And, you know, those are spiritual gifts and things like that. But he also gives us, you know, stuff, things we can touch, tangible gifts and blessings and things. And they're not, like I said, they're not all the same. Mine aren't the same as yours, and yours aren't better or worse than mine. They're just different, you know. But it's up to us to be happy with whatever they are. So, you know, that's what I got for a late Sunday night. It's 11 o'clock on the East Coast. You're not watching this live, so again, it doesn't matter. But it also means I should go to bed pretty soon because school's starting back, and we started back our planning days. I got 3 more. We got 3 more days before our kids come back to school. So that's cool. So be in prayer about school starting back all over the place. It's that time of year. Be careful driving around buses. I don't know what it is about a big. I drive a bus sometimes, part of my duties, and drive sports teams and field trips and things like that. And I don't know what it is about a big yellow bus. It makes everybody think it's like the Indy 500, and they got to get in front of that thing. And, you know, be on the lookout. It's dangerous, man. Don't risk people's lives because you need to be in front of a school bus. Anyway, that's a whole totally separate tirade for a totally separate podcast. But I hope you got blessed or inspired out of this. Maybe I said something that makes sense to somebody, but it's fun. I like doing this. It's good times. You'd like doing it too. You know, start your own podcast, your own YouTube channel, whatever you got to do. Fire it up, man. Possibilities are endless. Maybe you're a shade tree mechanic. You know, do a YouTube video on how to fix stuff without the right parts. I don't know. But spread the gospel, whatever you're doing. If you're a Christian mechanic, be a Christian mechanic. Start a YouTube channel and do a podcast about what it's like to be a Christian mechanic. You know, those guys exist. We can't all be, pastors that stand up in front of the church. I used to think I wanted to do that, and the more I do stuff like this, the more I think probably not, because then you're just the guy that stands up in front of church and talks. And God bless those guys. I don't mean that in a negative way, but it's so much. Sharing the gospel is so much bigger than talking for 30 minutes, 45 minutes on Sunday morning in front of a group of people. And we forget that sometimes, but we're all just as vital as that guy these days, and we're all just as able as that guy to get the message out, and maybe more so. But it's still important, again, that we go and do. But we've also it's so much easier these days with the resources and things that we've got. Just again, what a time to be alive. We're blessed. We're inspired. We should be inspired. If we're not, I mean, I am. Maybe you're not. Somebody threw a wet blanket on your fire. But get inspired, man. This is easy stuff these days. Anybody can do it. If I can do this, anybody can do it. Tell people about Jesus on the WWW. Somebody say that anymore? You know what? It doesn't matter. It's not important. That's what I got for you guys tonight, or this morning, or whenever you're watching. But I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you guys for watching. If you want to check up on me or follow me on social media, I am at Danny J. Burnham on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'll talk about everything from ultimate fighting to dispensationalism and whether or not there's a pre-tribulational rapture. Whatever you want to talk about, I'll cover it on there. I'm pretty broad as far as my social media topics go. But anyway, if you want to follow me, hit me up, and I'll follow you back. It'll be fun. But don't forget to check out Fire Christian Media on Facebook. Still working on the website. I'm getting this podcast thing figured out, but I'm still struggling on my web design. It's possible. It can be done. I just got to find the right YouTube video to explain things to me. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, for listening. And God bless you. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.